I know at my house what the deal is with school because I have 3 boys. I have a senior in high school now who's going to be a senior in high school, which is a very important year.
Right.
And then I have a kid who's going to be a junior. Then I have a kid who's either, I think, 7th or 8th grade. I always mess up the third one, what year he's going to be in.
How sad.
I know. But this is, so, and let me tell you how my kids think. So my kids are going online school August 10th. And then they get to go back to school September 8th. Okay, so August 10th, online school.
Okay.
And then September 8th, they physically go back to school.
That sounds like a good idea.
And my kids, this is how they look at it. They're like, okay, that's 4 days of NBA 2K. Because the new NBA 2K drops on my birthday, September 4th. So they look at it, they're going to play 4 days nonstop of NBA 2K before they actually have to go back to school. And that was the first thing, that's how they popped. They didn't look at it like, okay, I'm going to go see my friends. And, okay, everything's back there. It was all about how the time frame of video games that they get in.
Boys.
I know. And then yesterday dropped Halo. Halo Infinite dropped yesterday. The what's that called when you get to play and it's automatic when they play? It's like a movie trailer.
I don't know.
It's called
Story mode?
Is that it?
It might be story mode, yeah.
It might be that. I wrote it down. Let me see what it's called. It's called. But anyway, that was yesterday. That was a big deal in my house too. But anyway, so what about you, Rich? You know what your school thing is yet?
Well, yeah. So
gameplay.
Oh, gameplay. So my kids should be in as of like 2 days ago. They would have started a few days ago to go in person if everything was non-COVID-y. So they start on the 5th of August, and then you sign up for this thing where as soon as they can go back into school, they will go back into school. But they're going to stagger it. It's very complicated, but I don't know what the day is yet. They haven't announced what day they go physically back. But they start online, then they go back. So I chose that option. Then there's a lot of people in our district that are going to do online forever. So
yeah, same with ours too. I guess the parents can pick, and they have till today to pick.
But nobody is going back like August 5th, right?
Nobody's
Everyone's
going
doing
back.
online? Okay.
My daughter's
starting
going back
online.
to the 17th in person.
Oh, she
August
is.
17th.
August, okay.
She goes to meet her teacher August 5th. And as of now, I mean, we haven't received an email from the school since the governor said districts decide on their own. But as of now, she's going in person August 17th. And I'm so excited for her. Like, I want her to be in that school setting, and I want her to, like, be around other kids and have the kindergarten experience.
Sure.
Like, and I think what her school's doing is really good, like their plan that they've sent out, I'm very comfortable with. The only thing I haven't, like, seen in the plans, and I don't know if you guys have seen from your schools, but, like, what is the plan when a kid or a teacher gets COVID? And I say when because it's going to happen.
Right.
So it's like that's the only thing that I'm like, I kind of want to hear that before school starts. Like, what's the plan when that happens? Does the whole school shut down? Does just their classroom shut down?
I was
Do they
reading
trace
that,
where they've been?
I was reading that some schools were thinking about if it gets out of control in the school with cases, then they will shut down. But they'll try to handle it as much as possible.
They've said that there's a chance that they may go back, and everyone has the option to still go online if you're not comfortable going back in person August 17th. But it's like, if one kid gets it, then what?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that plan. And
Yeah,
I'd like to see that
They're
plan.
also enforcing masks at my kid's school. They do that. You're like, if you are, I think they said 3rd grade and under, you don't have to wear a mask. 3rd grade and up, you have to wear a mask all day.
All
So,
day?
All day.
I think they said only when physical and social distancing isn't possible.
Because like if you're in the classroom and there's 35 kids in class, you got to wear a mask. And my son Dutch is like, how can I wear a mask? It's impossible.
It's hard to wear it for a long time. And the whole thing with going back to school is it seems like kids always get sick when they go back to school because they're passing around random germs. Now in the year of COVID, is it going to be like a false alarm that somebody gets sick and they shut down the school because somebody has a cold?
Well, that's what I think, like, testing will be really important. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that we get to the point where we have some reliable tests that you get answers quickly instead of like 10 days later.
Well, I got my, I donated blood yesterday. So I had my antibodies tested. Right. So, and they said if I have the antibodies that they want me to come in and donate blood every 7 days to help fight whatever. And I'm like, hey, cool. And then I think that way I will find out, right? Then I'll know that if you know how I kept saying, I think my whole family had it at the end of December. If I have the antibodies, that means I probably had it at some point, right?
Yeah.
So I gave blood yesterday, and I had set up this appointment to give blood, and I know the person that runs the place, so I just text with her and hey, can you get me in? She's like, yeah, no problem. So I had set up this appointment, and it was after the show was over. But then we had a boss come in and make an impromptu meeting, right? That threw off my appointment, which irritated me. So I had to text and say, I had my whole day planned perfectly to a T. So I got to give my blood later than I planned. And then I realized I had a Zoom call that I was supposed to do, right? So all of a sudden I have to take my Zoom call while I'm in the blood thing. And I thought, well, how am I going to do that with all these other people around? And I don't have AirPods or earbuds. What are they called?
AirPods?
AirPods, yeah. I don't have AirPods. So I thought, I'm going to have to, and it was with, that one boss of ours who likes to cuss.
Yes.
Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
You don't want to put that on speaker.
Yeah. And also, I don't like when people talk out loud on the phone anyway. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I just asked, and I don't even know if this is even proper etiquette. I said to the nurses there, does anybody have any AirPods I can borrow? Right? Now, I look at Kyle. She's wearing earphones. We all have headphones on, but Kyle wears the little ones, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought, you wouldn't want anyone to wear those, right?
I wouldn't care, but then I would want to wash them before I put them back in my ear.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But so this one nurse was like, yeah, go ahead. You can, I have some you can have, but they're charging. There's not a lot of charge on them. And I was like, could I please use them? I don't know what I'm going to do in this conference call. And she's like, yeah, go ahead. So she charges them. She gives them to me. And I've never used these things before at all. My kids use them. I've never used them before. So she hands me the case and I got a needle in my arm and I'm trying to stick these things in my ear so I can't move my left arm. And then the conference call started. I put them on and the video thing's on. So I'm in this chair giving blood and the thing starts, right? And the conference is restarted. And the guy who's our boss starts off sees me and he goes, where the F are you? I'm like, thank God that this is only in my right ear because my left ear one wasn't working. I'm like, oh, I'm giving blood. And then I turn, whatever. So I'm in this call for a while. And then the AirPod stops working.
No.
Dink.
It
and
died.
it just goes, makes some weird noise. And all of a sudden I just see people talking. And I'm like, but now they're not talking, but I can't hear it. So it's not my ear. And I'm just like, so I just turned the phone around to all the people giving blood. And I'm letting them know, hey man, I'm giving blood, and I'm like, I can't hear you. I can't hear this meeting. I don't know. So I just hang up. I just hang up the video call.
Just like that on one of the bosses.
Yeah. So then I grabbed the AirPods to try to put them in the little container they come in, and I jacked the needle on my arm, and I screwed up the whole. They had to stop the blood donation, and I was supposed to give 2 pints, and was only able to give a pint, and I had to come back another time and give the rest. I screwed up by moving my arm. It was a disaster, total disaster. But they told me I'm going to find out in, like Kyle said, 7 to 10 days if I have the antibodies. And if I do, they want me to come in so I can donate to find a cure or something like that. I'm like, right on. I totally hope I have them.